So, one of the 4 suspects in the George Floyd murder, J. Alexander Keung, I think his name is, was caught slipping when he was confronted by a customer at Cub Foods grocery store the other day.
What's your name?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
It is you. So you're out of prison.
Yes.
And you're comfortably shopping in Cub Foods. As if you didn't do anything.
I'm not, well, I wouldn't call it comfortably. I'd just say getting necessities or helping.
I don't think you should have that right. I don't even think you should be out on bail.
I can understand.
I mean, how does it feel?
I'm sorry you feel that way.
No, you're not sorry. Like, you're literally outside here comfortably as if you didn't kill that man. Did you think that people weren't going to recognize you? Honestly, did you? You don't have the right to be here. You killed somebody in cold blood. You do not have the right to be here.
I understand. I'll get my stuff paid for.
No, we don't want you to get your stuff. We want you to be locked up. You're honestly in Cub Foods comfortably shopping. Out of prison. Like, do you feel any remorse for what you did? Do you?
Ma'am, I'm just going to grab my stuff.
This is the officer who was let out of jail today for shooting George Floyd. Or, I'm sorry, suffocating him. You're not going to be able to comfortably go around Minnesota like this. I pulled up the picture. I knew it was you. It's just like, he was there when they were killing him. And it's just like, this is crazy that you're here just thinking everything's okay. I mean, you don't want to apologize. You don't want to say anything. Like, no. Because this video is going to be on the internet. Yeah, he has the nerve to literally come outside thinking that we don't know what he looks like. How dare you? You're not going to be able to comfortably live in Minnesota after this, or anywhere. And you will be going back to jail. Trust. Trust. Yeah, he bailed out. How'd you get the money? How'd you get the money? And you're lucky that they don't have your address. You're lucky that they don't have your address. Hi. This is one of the police officers that was involved in killing George Floyd.
You know, people may feel like I'm being very tough with my viewpoints on this situation, but damn it, I think that lady who approached him was right. Everything that she said was right. Contrary to some folks' belief, when he was stopped and questioned about the whole situation that pretty much shook the world, that was bound to happen. If people are saying that as a free man, he has the right to be out walking around as if nothing happened, people also, and just like the lady who questioned him, anybody who followed the case or the details of the incident also has the right to stop and question him if they recognize him about what's going on. What was going through his mind? What's going through his mind at the time? When he stood there and let that man kill George Floyd. There has been several different incidents that have been the offspring of the situation that we see at the fuck hand right now. So many people getting killed left and right. People are getting fucking lynched. All these things are the aftermath of what the fuck happened. Not to mention there was an older gentleman that was an activist that was shoved so hard that he hit his head and bled from his brain through his ears on camera in my city. Trying to take a stand and make a damn difference. And the same people that are supposed to be serving and protecting aren't doing their job. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't feel like all police officers are bad. But I feel like there's a lot more of them being shown. And they're not serving and protecting. They're not doing what they were supposed to be doing. J. Alexander is one of the worst examples of that. Now, I know that there's a lot of people who were thinking like, well, dag, why did she do that? She didn't have to do that to him. I don't see how a person could really sit here and think like, oh my God, leave him alone. You know, I've heard like just a few different things that I felt was, I don't know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and they felt like that lady shouldn't have questioned him the way that she did. And I just kind of feel like This is the result of the situation. This is the aftermath of the situation. If he would have stood up and stopped what was happening, if he didn't put his hands on him, this video right here would not have happened. This would have been someone who spoke out against police brutality and the system of supremacy. He wouldn't have this issue with people confronting him and wondering, what the hell is wrong with you? What also grinds my gears is the fact that Jay Alexander is black. In fact, be biracial. I do recall seeing, I don't know if this is true, that he is biracial. He does have a Caucasian mother. I don't understand, and I couldn't see how he could not be affected by seeing something so disgusting happen to one of his own and do shit about it. Look at history. Look at slavery. Look at the riots. Look at the uprisings. Look at all the things in history. Raped, killed, beaten, tortured. Children ripped from mothers' wombs. Men's limbs chopped off because they was too strong. They didn't want the black man to be the strongest, the brightest, the most brilliant, the most beautiful. So they did everything in their power to us to take us the fuck down. And that's exactly what happened when they killed George Floyd. I cannot understand how that could possibly happen. Or at least not for him not to say anything. How the hell couldn't you stop that from happening? As a black man, I don't give a damn how long you've been on the job. I don't give a damn if you was on that job 5 minutes. It should never be a time when your job is worth more than somebody else's fucking life. One of your own. I couldn't see myself allowing something as such to happen. As a black woman. Are you fucking kidding me? You look at how the conversation went between Jay Alexander and the lady that was talking to him about the situation. You could see how in the beginning he was kind of not really sarcastic, but sarcastic. And you can see in the way that he spoke, he really was not remorseful. Now, what I can say is, I think at a certain point when she started getting more in depth about who he was, what happened, how he was involved, and when people started asking, I think he did start to feel embarrassed, which he should be. He might have been embarrassed, but that doesn't mean that he had any remorse. Of course, people are embarrassed when they do shit and they know it's fucking wrong. After feeling like they're invincible, or feeling as if they won't get caught, or feeling as if it doesn't matter. A person can know they shouldn't have done something and still not care. For anybody who feels like that can't happen, please don't get it twisted, because it can. Even if he felt like he was helpless in a situation, even if he was to speak up and still felt helpless, it really is making me question, what was his upbringing like? Was he exposed to black culture? Was he exposed to the beauty of black people? Because that shit would have meant so much more to him than obviously it did not. When that shit was broadcasted all over the world, how he didn't do shit to help George Floyd. Knowing his past and knowing his people should have been enough. This goes to show how some people feel as if some people that are biracial, which is something I also spoke on to one of my videos, that being biracial or being black and light-skinned means that black issues have no place with them. Is this like a white by association situation? Because I even spoke about this when I made my last video about the little girl, Ariana, who said blatantly on camera that she was ugly while she was on live, and her hairdresser came to save the day to let her know how beautiful she was. I spoke about people who, and this doesn't apply to everybody, but there are some people that do exist that feel like when they have a mixed child, or they have a lighter skinned child, or a child that may pass for another race or multiple races that are lighter skinned, that they're a trophy, and that it also excludes them from the world of blackness and the black experience. So therefore, they may feel as if they've came up in the world and they are white by association. And it really makes me wonder in this situation, because only somebody that has that mindset would let some shit like that happen. Not coming forward, not speaking up, not saying I want to make a difference. This whole shit affected so many different people in so many different nations. That's not enough. That's not enough. We know that man is not sleeping at night. None of them are sleeping at night. I've been hearing about a lot of people on the police force deciding to resign after we saw the mistreatment and the lynching of George Floyd. Now, my question is it because people are ashamed? Which I'm sure we do have a few people that are truly and utterly ashamed of how the system has failed us. And I'm sure there's also people who truly just don't give a shit. And they don't want the heat. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to know how this impacted so many people. We've seen the rioting. We've seen the protests. We're seeing what's happening here. I also think it's a matter of folks who feel like if they are racist, blatant racist, or closet racist, which we've been seeing a lot of too, that they'll never be caught on camera, on the job, or anywhere that could give them exposure as to what they really think about black people or any other people of color that could jeopardize their job or their livelihood in some type of way. It's almost like how, and I hate to mention this too, people who go crazy and they kill people and then they kill themselves because they would never be caught alive. And I feel like that's the same thing that's going on with so many people who are deciding to bow out. They're deciding to resign. I know one thing, that lady was right when she said that eventually he will be put back in jail. I also feel like something eventually is going to transpire. Something is going to transpire from this situation. Now, I want to know from you guys, do you guys think that he has a chance of turning his life around and dedicating his life to a cause to stop police brutality and any other force of white supremacy that has affected our people at all, as a way to give back and show that despite what happened, he will stand up for the black race? Or do you guys think he has absolutely no chance ever of doing anything right from here on out? Hit me up in the comment section and don't be a stranger. I really want to know what you guys think.